Welcome back. I'm your host, Renata McAlvany, a creativity coach for neurodivergent and multi-passionate women of color. And in this show, we talk about all things creativity as it relates to our self-discovery and healing journey. Let's get started. In today's show, I want to chat with you about success. I want us to talk about what it means to be successful in today's day and age as the world is changing rather quickly and unpredictably, especially as neurodivergent and multi-passionate women of color. Because let's get real, what used to work isn't working anymore. The world is changing faster than what we can keep up with. And we might be finding ourselves stuck chasing goals and achievements that no longer make sense for us, either out of obligation, habit, guilt, or fear of stepping outside of our perceived limitations. We may be following definitions of success that were handed to us based on tradition or other people's expectations of us that have long gone unchallenged and accepted as definitive. So let's talk about it. Where do most accepted ideas of success come from? What happens when these outdated definitions of success no longer work? How can we create a better definition of success on our own terms? And finally, how can we use creativity to help us get there? If this sounds interesting to you, then keep on listening or watching if you are on YouTube, and let's get into it. So, before we can talk about finding success, we have to ask ourselves, what does success even mean in today's world, especially as neurodivergent and multi passionate women of color? The reason why I think we need to start here first is because we need to interrupt and question any preconceived assumptions about what success is supposed to look like. So before we can determine whether we are winning or failing or whether we are in alignment or not, we first have to define what we mean when we say success. Because success in Western society is often defined as individualism, personal achievement, job titles, being a person of influence, being very ambitious, accumulating material possessions and wealth, of course, enough to help you to move up the ladder, just to name a few. Also, most of our ideas of what success even means have been inherited, imposed, or internalized by many external factors, which include things like systemic oppression, capitalism, colonialism, white supremacy, patriarchy, ableism, etc., our own inherited traditions and personal values that have been passed down from generation to generation. So think going to college, getting married, or buying a house. Also, our very own life experiences, which may have had a long lasting effect on us. Things like migrating to a new country, experiencing abuse, or living in poverty. All these factors will absolutely play a huge role in shaping how and what you define as success, often without even realizing it. Now, the problem with pre established ideas of success is that more often than not, you have not been a part of the co creation process, meaning that you likely have very little to no say as to what this should look like in your own personal life. For example, in my experience, I grew up with parents who expected me to ask for permission to do just about anything that I wanted to, especially as I was getting older. And this seemed really odd to me. I was definitely like, there's no way I'm going to live my life like this. And so that clash between what they saw as acceptable in good behavior from a daughter is something that clashed with me and caused me a lot of frustration and feelings of shame because I couldn't meet this expectation. Also, all the pre-established ideas of success stop working when they don't take into account how the world is changing and other external factors that may impact what we are able to achieve. For example, things like the economy, global conflict, technological advances, generational shifts in values and attitudes. For example, as millennials, I think we have all seen how challenging it has been to navigate the world of work and how different it is from our boomer parents who experience a whole different way of working, and how that difference creates tension, frustration, misunderstandings, and disappointment, not only with others, but also within ourselves. By chasing these external expectations, we are left to feel very dissatisfied because they don't resonate with us. And they can end up feeling like a straitjacket that is being imposed on us. They can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, shame, burnout, and even cause an identity crisis. So now that we have talked about all this doom and gloom, what can we do instead? If you have been listening to this show for any period of time, you likely know what I'm going to say. And that is that you need to create a new version of success of your own making. And we can do this by using creativity to help us to explore what this can look like. Because creativity is one of the most powerful tools that we have to explore and understand who we really are, not who we were told we were supposed to be. Creativity can help us to get back home to ourselves, clarify what matters most to us, take back our power, and guide us to reimagine what success can look and feel like. So if you have been worried about being a failure or not being able to achieve what you had expected by this point in your life, I want to encourage you to use this as an opportunity to reassess what you're working towards. This can be one of the most powerful breakthrough points for you if you allow it and you align your life towards the direction of your true desires. So let's say that you've done the self-introspection and you have examined your internalized ideas of success and you're wondering, what now? Well, it's time to roll up our sleeves and start creating a new version of success that is personal to you and actually inspires you. Here are some things that you might want to consider as you shape this new vision. Some of those things include your personal values, what's important and meaningful to you, your personal needs, and neurodivergent rhythms. Remember, it's really important that we take in consideration who we are, our personality, and our traits as neurodivergent people, and of course, our multiple passions and interests. So here's a fun and creative challenge to help you kickstart this exploration. And I want to challenge you to create a visual symbol for your new definition of success. So this can be anything from a collage, a doodle, a body movement, a playlist, or even a made-up word. So have fun with it. As you explore, you can ask yourself, what does success look like and feel like? What would make me feel successful? And see what comes through. If you take on this challenge, I would love if you share that with me on Instagram. So tag me. I want to see how you approach this prompt. And to recap, today we talked about outdated ideas of success and where they come from, why these external expectations of success can fall short and exacerbate feelings of inadequacy and personal failure, and how we can use creativity to explore a new version of success based on our own terms. If you take anything from today's episode, I hope it's this. It's okay to unlearn and outgrow outdated ideas of what success was supposed to look like for you. Your definition of success gets to be your own. It doesn't have to look like somebody else's. And finally, remember that creativity is one of your greatest allies when it comes to helping you to reconnect with your true self and your true desires. So use it. That's it. That's the episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe and hit like if you're watching on YouTube. Also, sign up for my newsletter. This is the best way for us to stay connected and for you to hear about my latest offerings. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you on the next one. Until then, stay creative. Bye.